Kings Chronicle family gang. Let's start on Fridays. Let's start like having talks. Let's talk with us on Friday. Let's see if we can, get some ideas up, some subjects to talk about, everything that people want to talk about that you just don't. I want to get some good topics in to talk about. It may not be the same time every Friday, but I think we can get something going. I think that would probably help people out. My first one topic I want to talk about, I was talking to you guys about it. I put the blog out earlier this morning. Just talking about forgiveness and, forgiving people and, just doing better. I think forgiveness is a hard thing for people. Nobody wants to be the bigger person to step up and, forgive the other person, which it shouldn't be that way. Everybody should have a forgiving heart. Just, like maybe you don't know you upset that person. So, instead of harboring all that, like unforgiveness, just talk about it. Let the person know or ask them what's wrong and see. Because sometimes people don't, you may be saying you was hurt and you don't forget a person because they didn't say anything. They may not know. You might need to talk to the people, say something. My thing that I've always been, and all my friends can tell you, is that I don't try to go behind nobody's back. I don't try to none of that. I try to ask them up front. If anything's wrong, I did anything. I can only fix the problem if you tell me. If you tell me what's wrong, what I did, let me try to correct myself. Now, if I don't correct myself or the person doesn't correct themselves after you tell them what has hurt your feelings or, what you mad about. But if I did this and I did not know, then okay, you need to let me know so you can forgive me. We can move on and hopefully, do better. But no one can do better if you do not tell them. So yes, you got to tell the person what's wrong. If they hurt you, if y'all are friends or bigger, y'all should be better than that. You should be able to talk to your friend. Now, if y'all not friends, it may be, somebody you just encountered. But still, you should speak up for yourself and, just let that person know, hey, that's just not something I like. I didn't like that. You just should be able to tell them. Because I'm telling you, it is some people do say some crazy stuff, and I get that. But you cannot just say, oh, okay, I ain't going to like these people, because that might just be how they are. But if that's something you don't want to deal with, don't even try to mess with them people no more. So that's one topic, forgiveness, that we just definitely need to learn and have a conversation about talking to people, because I guess hurt some friends back in the day that I just did not know. No one told me, and I was because I'm so rough. Maybe I'm not as sensitive, rough, talking. And I guess that's just how I was raised, because my mom was a little rough, like that. So I told people, sometimes, just let me know. I may not know that I did that or hurt you, but don't just, let's not be friends. Or I'm trying to figure out why this person not talking to me, and I'm like, I didn't even know I had did something. And like I say, so that's a great start, trying to talk with people. Always talk with your peers, your friends. I'm just not a person that try to stay mad. I don't have time to be mad every day, all day at somebody for something they did a whole year ago. I don't even have time to do it for 2 weeks ago. I'm telling y'all, the passing of my mother let me know that things can happen quickly. My mom died pretty quickly, and it was just stuff I thought I still had time to tell her. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not wasting time to try to figure people out now. If you do not tell me what's wrong, then I'm just not going to know. But you need to make the time and do better with trying to tell people. Another thing, I think I want to talk on as well, too, that I feel like, this is not against anybody. I'm talking about, our culture, the Black culture. I would say, because it's something like my mom didn't know. I was raised up by my mom. Just learning how to be an entrepreneur. Not just working for somebody, and not, teaching us that, hey, you need to do this step and this step to own your own company versus just working for somebody. But my mom did instill in us to work, take care of your bills and things like that. But I instilled in my daughter, I have one child that's 34, which is doing fabulous. And I'm thanking God every day that she was listening. But even though I wasn't taught that, and it was more harder back in my mom time, that, just a lot of stuff you didn't. But over the years, I did learn, and as I had my daughter, that, hey, I need to instill in this young lady that, hey, don't try to work for somebody all the time. You want to own it. You want to have your own. You want to learn the ins and out of what you can do to own this business or start that type of business. And if you do work at a company and you've been there long, it's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. That is great. Some people are not built for owning their own company or being an entrepreneur because it's a lot of work. Oh, it's a lot of work. So I'm saying everybody's not built for that. So if you are not built for that type of situation, I get that. So this is not for you. This is just for people. I'm trying to help and understand that sometimes we was not taught that at my age. I'm 52 and I was not taught that. So I learned that later on that, being an entrepreneur, having businesses and doing things like that will, enhance and help you grow and, more of your own money that you see. So, and like I said, I instilled that in my daughter. I told her and she did it and ran with it and is doing fabulous. Her and her husband, are owning things and stuff like that. And another thing is to add on to that part. You call it, as my daughter said, generational wealth. You want to make sure that you're setting up your own family or your children or whoever is your family with what you have and making sure that you're owning stuff. These days people are owning land, property, like they say, the Airbnbs are owning houses that you're, renting out. This is what you want to have to give back to your family as generational wealth, something that you own that you can pass down to your family. So like I said, we wasn't taught that type of stuff, but this is the things like my daughter is setting up for her daughter that she, wants to have and leave stuff. Our parents, I'm not saying it's everybody's parents that didn't get this, but it's a lot of the majority of they didn't back in the day. So if you didn't come into wealth and you didn't just have it, then you was working hard and they was hard workers. So as I said, sometimes we have to learn, and you might learn later in life. And it's never too late. Just like they always say, it's never too late to go back to school. It's never too late to get a degree. If that's for you, please do that. But it's never too late to start learning how to be your own boss or owning something type of property. And not just, I know some young folks that have a lot of time that is not, I guess living up to their potential. Young lady that, works with me where I was, she has so much knowledge, but she's letting this job hold her back because she's been there since she graduated from school. So she may have been there like 17 years or 18 years. But what I'm trying to tell her is it's nothing wrong with you still working here and still owning or having your own business. So I was like, yeah, you have so much knowledge to give people in different, different things that she knows and can help someone else. I was telling her, please do that. This is going to help you. And then she has a daughter and then a granddaughter so that you can set them up and then they'll know that this is the right way they're supposed to go as well. So her not doing that yet, she have a child working at the fast food place or something like that. And she's already had a child. They're all living at home with her mom. You don't want that. You want to be able to be out living your life, owning your own stuff and things like that. Like I say, sometimes we learn a lot of this stuff late, but because she's young, this is some stuff she can now teach her daughter. But if she don't ever teach her daughter or talk about it or even learn herself, then it's you can't teach, someone else that because, then we have to learn. Like I say, even though it's a lot of stuff I instilled in my daughter, I'm now learning some stuff from her as she has went past what I have taught her. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Some stuff you just didn't know. Like I say, so I'm learning stuff from my daughter now that she has definitely learned. And y'all know these new millennials, baby, they is doing it. And I'm so proud. Y'all be proud and encourage your family, whether it's your daughter, child, auntie, whoever, to do whatever they can to do and support them so that they can keep moving forward. It don't matter what my daughter would have chose. I definitely would have been behind her. She chose a passion that she loved. And when you love doing something, oh, you are going to do a great job at it. When you love it, it's almost like you're not even working. And she says that all the time. But don't get it twisted. She does do a lot of work. And she also has a family. So I can only speak on, my family's stuff. I can't really speak on somebody else. So if y'all hear me talking a lot about, my family or my daughter, because like I said, that's my only child, then, please don't, be mad, because yes, I am definitely proud, and I don't want nobody to say because I keep talking about my child and I think she's all of that. Well, I do think she's all of that. And as everyone should think their child is all of that. So please don't get me wrong. My husband also has kids. They're in high school now. One is about to graduate. And as a matter of fact, it's so good she's graduating early, because this is how good she has done over the years to put herself in this situation. So actually, she's supposed to graduate next year. I think when they graduate, like in May, June. But she is actually graduating early. We don't know the date yet, but yeah. And she has gotten some scholarships from like 3 different schools. And so, you got to be, teach your kids, talk to them, just try to steer them in the right direction. And I'm not saying everybody's going to go in the direction you want them to go in or do what you want them to do. But if you do start instilling in them from young, because I started young with my daughter, young. And we talk all the time now. She was like, Mom, you really was telling me a lot of stuff. You really was encouraging me. And she was like, see, I was listening. I was like, dang. I was like, girl, I'm so glad you was, because I thought a lot of that stuff I was just like talking. But you'll really find out if your kid was listening as they go on in life and going off and be, adults and, things and what they doing after graduation and their next, career, things like that. So as I say, y'all make sure y'all just encourage and help somebody else. Pass the knowledge on. Stop harboring and keeping all this knowledge in, thinking that it's not enough room. It's enough room for everybody. God put things on this earth that we can help and be a help, person to everybody. You should not feel that you should not be able to teach, help someone else, and you thinking that you're going to lose your job or they're going to take something from you. If it's for you, it's for you. So I've always wanted to, give advice, just instill and this and that. And then don't think the person owe you something. This type of information, I know everybody's saying it should be paid for. And I'm not saying it shouldn't, because it's a lot of things people ask my daughter. My daughter, I told you, owns her own photography studio. She's a photographer herself. She owns a lot of Airbnbs, things like that. And some information that they feel like, should be free, but it's not always that she has the time to go into all the things. So she started like master classes on, how to, be, on Airbnbs and do the Airbnbs. And a lot of people came. So sometimes people do not say it for free, but they just don't have the time. And sometimes you got to do this in a timely manner and put it in a class so that all this information, sometimes you do have to pay. I'm not saying it's always that you shouldn't. And I feel like her time is valuable or your time is valuable, that sometimes you do. Now, I do know that she does help some people give out some free information, but she can't do that every day, all day. Because I'm telling you, she get a lot of questions, a lot. So as I was saying is, even though I'm telling people to give back and, give knowledge. Okay, I know it's sometimes you can only give a little, like I'm doing this, on YouTube. So yeah, so this is a good way to get it out. People want to see you, you get your YouTube views up and the same as me. But I just want to talk about some topics that's going to really, really help people, throughout. So that was like 2 topics I hit on. One was, like I said, forgiveness. The second one, was just like, entrepreneurship, being your own boss. Or even if that's just not for you, then you need to be the best at what you're doing in your job, or if you work for someone. And just, learning how, I guess, to move up the ladder if you are in a company. So, yes. So, and it's like some other topics. Like I say, I do want to talk about some other topics. So let's talk. Let's talk with us on Friday. It could be at different times. I'm probably not going to, have it for that long. Maybe I will start doing some lives and people can just come in or, comment. But please like, comment, and subscribe. Send the comments on what topics that we could talk about, as a gang, as Chronicles gang, what y'all want to talk about. I know it's a lot of other topics that we haven't hit. This is just something I wanted to start because it's a lot of stuff people be wanting to ask. I just don't be knowing. And some stuff, just like about this YouTube, learning YouTube. Sometimes, like I say, trying to pay. You may not have the money to pay people. I know people say they want to, people to pay them, for their information and learning how to do this YouTube and stuff. But now it's so much out there on YouTube, you really don't even really have to pay that person. But I guess one person 101 is definitely some stuff you need, because sometimes, but I'm nowhere near me trying to give some information on this, because I'm just a new YouTuber myself. So I'm just getting out information about what I know. So that's why I say let's talk on Fridays, and just me giving out information on topics that I know about. So yes, I do know a lot about some forgiveness. With my family, we've had to go through some things. We like a small, close-knit little family, but we have been through a lot of things. And sometimes we have had to come and humble ourselves and forgive this person, which namely would be my brother, which I told y'all that I'm caregiving for. Me and my brother. My brother had a horrific tragedy accident over a year ago. It happened on 5/15/23, which was Mother's Day. And he was only 32 at the time, who is now 33. That left him as a quadriplegic, a person that had been walking, doing everything. He was a merchant seaman, going out on the boats, ships. But at that time, because we had lost our mother in January, we all were feuding. I think everybody was hurt, just, filled with grief. Grief is a stage that it takes time to go through. And because they're younger, the other brother that I'm telling you that helps me with, he's 36. The one that we are helping, we're caregiving for, is 33 now. So it's like you got moved from one grief to another grief. So we had to put a halt to our whole life, because my brother didn't have any kids, didn't have a wife. He was just by himself, just working, doing, living life, whatever. And as I said, because we was already in grief, because my mother had passed in January and this happened in May, we was all still going through a lot. He hadn't went back out on the ship yet to work. So now we was thrown into taking care of my brother and not having a life and just doing everything, because they don't just give you help right away, with trying to get, caregivers in. You have to go through a process. So even with that, we had to, like when I say take care of him, I mean cleaning him, wiping him, everything. I mean, everything. He can thank, God is good all the time. Now my brother can move his right arm. Matter of fact, he can move pretty much a lot of limbs. He can move his right leg, just not enough to walk. Now, he can play PlayStation games. This is how much he can move his arm, but he cannot do enough to transfer himself into the bed, from the bed to the wheelchair, none of those type of things. He can help take his shirt off, stuff. He can, grab stuff. Like I said, he plays the game. He can feed himself now. So when I say God is good, that's a blessing. They were saying like he would pretty much never do any of that. So sometimes you do got to be thankful for the little stuff. And he's still a work in progress, because he's still doing therapy. But what I'm trying to say to y'all, when you have to caregive for somebody who you was just in an argument with, probably like a day before this accident happened, literally my brother was on the phone cussing us out so bad. And when this accident happened, we was there like we had never even had that accident, like had that argument. So when I say sometime you have to do some things and you got to just go to yourself and be like, you know what, Lord, just help me, because I really don't even want to help this man. But that's my brother. And I know my mom would never want us not to help him. So like I say, it has been a journey. I have learned a lot of things. I have the utmost respect for any caregiver, any person that's taking care of their mom, husband, child, brother, sister, auntie, kids. I have the utmost respect for you guys, because y'all, I keep telling y'all, that's the hardest freaking job, because of my brother going through that horrific accident. He was hurt. He was lost. He was like, went from walking to not walking at 32. So you mad, sad, thankful that you still alive, but you still like, what the heck happened? God, why did you let this happen to me? So when I say he was going through some things, you was cussing us, you just was talking crazy. Some of the times I didn't even want to come back. I mean, I'm literally, staying at, my mom's house is pretty much where, they lived at. Coming over there working from home every day just to, take care because, my brother worked, we both worked, but, I was able, because I work from home, to just watch him. Now that he does a lot of therapy, he's gone most part of the day. So that is pretty great, good too. But when I tell you, you waking up in the middle of the night, you got to clean this guy from pee to the next, what the next step is, that cleaning him, wiping him, moving him, putting him in the bed, getting him out the bed. When I tell you we knew nothing, I work in the medical field, but not like that. I work like office stuff, So when I tell you, when you take care of somebody and you got to do all of that, just know you got to really be humble. Because there's so many times I want to do crazy stuff because he was talking to me so crazy, but I was still trying to encourage him. But then I had to come to a point where I was like, hey, you can't talk to me like that. I know you're going through some things, but I didn't do it. I wasn't the problem. So you still have to let them people know that, it's people way worse than you that's even nicer. So you have to still pull those people in and let them know that, hey, you got to do better. This is going to be a long road for you. If you want us to be here to try to help you, you got to talk to us better. So like I say, you got to talk to those type of people. We was, like I say, giving him a lot of encouragement, trying to help him go out, get out. Try to be around other people that's like him, that, accidents has happened. So his accident, it was like he has a neck injury. So a lot of his bones were broken. But the horrific thing, he has a spinal cord like neck injury. So that's pretty much what the accident was. He was hit by a car walking across the street coming from a club at night. And one of his other friends was hit as well. But my brother, I know y'all was like, she ain't finished saying what accident was or what really happened to him. Yeah, he was hit by a car going at a really fast speed. They was on this highway, but it was late at night, and this person shouldn't have been speeding. But I don't think they was paying attention to them on the side of the road. So I think he veered, he did whatever, and then hit them. And my brother took the most of the impact because he was in front of the friend and my brother. But let me tell y'all how good God is, because they both could have been gone. And definitely my brother. This car hit him, knocked him, and then he hit a pole and then landed. But when I tell you, God say when it's not your time, baby, it is not your time. He had to be brought back 2 times. Now, my brother, what they say saved his life is because he's a pretty big guy. So I would say at that time, he might have wore 250, 260. If it had not been for my brother's weight, he would be dead right now today. Dead. So, like I say, God always got a plan for us, and you might got more work to do, and you might need to, like he need to tell his story, as in saying, like, yeah, y'all, we need to do better with our life and be better to people and talk better. So I think because, God, like I say, he was brought back 2 times. He had multiple broken ribs, bones broken in his neck. He had facial bones broken, nose bones broken. His spleen was punctured. His pelvis was broken 2 places. His leg or his foot. Y'all, it was so much. We was just like, Lord, my God, what in the world? We just ain't know if he was even gonna make it. And at times, he almost didn't. Even after them bringing him back, him getting to the hospital, it was still so many days. He had to have this surgery that was like 7 hours long. That he had to do it upside, he had to be on his stomach for 7 hours, and he was still with a trach in him, on tubes, everything. So the doctor was like, we gotta hope he make it through this surgery. So that was the worst time ever, y'all. It was just so much. When I say this man came through and now is talking, no brain damage. Oh my God, that's already enough right now to run around and saying and clapping my brother has no brain, no nothing, brain functioning well, and was hit by a whole car, threw into a pole and landed on the ground. So, baby, when I tell you God still got work for you to do, because, I mean, he knows everything in his right mind, no stuttering, no nothing. Now, like I say, it is a lot for him to be taking on, like, we still have to help him with a lot of, his business, stuff like that, because it's just a lot, because now he's, in a wheelchair and all this type of stuff. But he manages his bank account. He plays the PlayStation, Call of Duty, everything. Man, I'm like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus, because I would never want nothing to happen to me. He just would have died after we just lost my mom. And he's the baby of the family. Lord have mercy. I know my mom probably was turning over in her grave. So I tell you, sometimes, baby, you just got to be thankful. And I tell my brother that every day. I know you in this situation. I know you in this chair. I know you ain't walking yet. But, baby, you either wanted to be dead or you want to be, like, thankful right now. Because some people born like this and be in the chair all their life. So you did understand and enjoy some life joy, because you were not born like this. So I'll tell him, you just got to be thankful, keep pushing on, keep trying to, do what you can do and to get to walking. So, yeah, so this is a thing that we've come to, but I'm going to try to cut this off. Now y'all know what I'm talking about with caregiving, but like I said, I think all caregivers, near and far, whatever you're doing, whoever you're taking for, if it's small, if it's big, I really appreciate y'all. If nobody don't tell y'all, I do, because now I understand, because I've done it. Doing it. So I just, like I say, y'all be nice to these people who taking care of y'all, that, so like I say, y'all want to talk to y'all family members and tell them, like, look, y'all need to treat me better. Just because you thinking they had an accident or tragedy, they cannot treat you any kind of way. So now my brother is better with talking and, doing things and apologizing and saying he's sorry, saying thank you and all of that. So I knew that was nobody but God that changed his heart to let him know that, hey, this girl or this your brother ain't even got to be here. So now he know, because we could have put him in a nursing home. And that's how most people do. Most people don't even take care of their family right now. So that's what I'm telling you. Be thankful when somebody is helping you or doing some caregiving, because these people don't have to do this. We done all of this out of kindness of our heart, from how we was in a whole argument this day before and you was just cussing us out. But look at God. So I just want to go ahead and cut this off. Y'all, we gonna start Let's Talk with us on Fridays. So y'all think of some topics. Please put them in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to the King's Chronicle Family Gang channel. Please subscribe. But yes, I have been appreciative to all my subscribers, whoever has been subscribing, and I really appreciate it. But let's keep this thing going. Let's keep this thing popping. Now we're going to start this. And like I said, it may not be the same time, but let's just try to come up. And I'm going to come up with some more topics that I can go through and do this as well. All right, guys.